Hi guys, NATO here. I'm actually now in Decatur County. I am all over the place today. I'm going to start off. I'm here on the Decatur County Courthouse lawn here on the square, or what's left of what City Square was. And like in Appanoose County in Centerville, they have a Freedom Rock that is designed to be a monument to U.S. soldiers. Now, we have noticed along a lot of these Iowa counties and the county seats, they have a monument dedicated to U.S. servicemen and women. And this one here was dedicated in 2015, and it says Decatur County Freedom Rock, May 24th, 2015. Some gave all gave some. Let us never forget. The monument is naval in design, and I'm going to get to a little bit more of that reason here in a brief moment. But then it has the some gave all gave some. And a really cool thing about this, especially from what's going on in the world right now, is that on the other side of this rock, there is D. Darrell Johnson, who I'm assuming at this point is from Decatur County, but he was a Korean War veteran, and as you see, he received the Purple Heart, and a few other medals here. And that's significant because right now it's going on in Korea. This is big news, so that's kind of cool. Okay, now back to county and city history. Decatur County was organized in 1850. Like most Iowa counties, since Iowa became a state in the late 1840s, a lot of the towns here started to be founded in 1853. Now, most of them weren't incorporated until much later, but they had their community kind of gatherings in 1850. The one interesting thing about Iowa counties is that the county seat wasn't necessarily guaranteed by all counties. Decatur County, which is actually named after Stephen Decatur Jr., who is a War of 1812 hero, and actually the first great hero from a war outside of the Revolutionary War, was a naval officer and commodore, and actually was captain of the Enterprise. The original U.S. ship, the Enterprise, and was actually really well known in Washington, D.C. He's buried in Philadelphia, and he was killed in a duel, much like Alexander Hamilton. A couple of cool things about Stephen Decatur Jr. is that, one, his house. If for anyone who's the name Decatur sounds familiar to them, it should, especially if you spend any time in Washington, D.C. The Decatur House, which is actually now part of the White House Historical Society, is on the south side of Lafayette Square, just on the northwest corner of the White House grounds. He was that influential. He lived next to the presidents of the United States, and he served under several of them in the Navy. So that's a really cool thing about Stephen Decatur. I actually think it's cool, and most of the small Iowa towns are quiet. Not this one. We have police sirens going on right now, and ambulances. So just because you're in a small area doesn't mean you're not going to hear some ruckus. So that's it breaks the peace every so often, so you let you know that other people are still around you. The city square here in Leon, Iowa. Again, most towns in Iowa have these little city squares, and most of the original buildings are gone. This is the buildings right behind me are probably towards the early part of the 20th century, but most of the buildings on the square are all newer, at least the mid 20th century to later. The city I am in, the county seat, is Leon. It is not the original county seat. As I said, the county seats in some of these counties were contested. The original county seat was Decatur, known as Decatur City. But people in the county protested, and they weren't satisfied with that location and wanted to move the county seat eastward along what is now Highway 2. Thus they did. And the town was originally named Independence. However, they have found out that there was also already a town in Iowa named Independence. So they tried to name it South Independence. Well, that sounded kind of stupid, apparently, to them. So they renamed the town in the mid-1850s. I believe it was 1850. 1855 to Leon. Now, I'm not for sure why they changed the name to Leon or why they chose the name of Leon. I actually spend most of my research on the town by the monuments and stuff written here and the people I talked to. So no one here seems to know why it was changed to Leon so far. But this is the Decatur County Courthouse. This is the 6th building used as the Decatur County Courthouse. The one just previous to this one has a little bit of interesting history. See, and theft, when they moved this county seat from Decatur to what is now Leon, the Decatur city didn't want to give up the documents, and so they had to steal them in the middle of the night out of the vault, then move them over under by oxen in the middle of the night. The building before this, the courthouse before this, the county treasurer's office was broken into in the middle of the night, and thieves tried to steal the money out of the county treasurer's office and planted explosives. The explosives went off and they blew up that side of the building. However, the safe remained intact and they got nothing except for jail time. But that building was repaired, but was insufficient to upkeep with the demands of the growing county. And so this building was built and finished in 1908. And that's the current county courthouse here in Leon, Iowa. Another thing about the county courthouse here is it has a miniature version of the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty was originally dedicated in the 1950s by the Boy Scouts of America and was rededicated in 2003 to the victims of the September 11th attacks in New York City. Leon is actually a little bit bigger town. The population is around 1,500, and the county has around 5,000. So just the county seat here in Leon, it has more of a population than the counties that are just west of it. The counties of Taylor, and the next county over is Ringgold. Those two counties, the counties have a population of less than 1,500. The city of Leon has that many people living in it. So it's kind of the difference in population from county to county. Very quiet, very nice town. It has everything you would need of any small town in Iowa. There is a movie theater that's playing the Avengers right now, and they have quite, all the things you really need you could find here on the city square. That's one of the cool things about small town Iowa, is that you still can find mom and pop stores that have the things that you need that you would have to go to a Walmart for in most other places. So, and there is not a Walmart. The closest Walmart to here is in Osceola, which is probably at least a 45-minute drive up an interstate. So these mom and pop stores really serve their purpose here in Leon and in Decatur County. There's not much else I've been able to find here in Decatur County and Leon, except for the fact that, again, it's really cheap to live here. There are jobs here. People do travel to other areas for work, but they make good money, and the cost of living is dirt cheap. There's very little crime here. They have a police department, but I think the guy mostly just hangs out watching TV all day. It'd be a great job. I just made that up. I don't know. They're probably somewhat busy rescuing cats and trees and stuff, but it's small town Iowa. Small towns in the Midwest do sometimes have a tendency to have meth problems and other drug problems, but with the boom in the economy all over Iowa, a lot of these problems are starting to go away, and with the improved economies. So that's great news for anyone living in Iowa. And as the sun sets on me now, I can actually see the camera here. That's great. So that's basically all I have for you in this part of Iowa. And I just want to thank you for coming out. Peace out.